Between Death and Dreams by Brand of Sacrifice. This is the Toronto outfit's newest offering, an EP, arriving April 21st via Blood Blast distribution. Between Death and Dreams consists of 4 tracks, clocks in at about 16 minutes, and, of course, is the much anticipated follow-up to 2021's Lifeblood LP, which feels like it kind of just came out yesterday.
Yeah, Brand of Sacrifice still feel like they're very new on the scene.
That of course being their sophomore LP, just to clarify.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like it, right? Brand of Sacrifice still feels very fresh.
Well, I think that Lifeblood was very much a coming out party.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's when a lot of people just sort of started paying attention. And this Between Death and Dreams, before we even get into the review, just from like outsider looking in here, this feels like this band's opportunity to capitalize on the eyes, right, that are on them.
It's just weird because I want to like agree with you, but at the same time, it's almost like I disagree with you. Like, I don't think Lifeblood was a coming out party. Like, I think that's like...
You're saying it's
like a take notice, but it's not. It's still not there. I think this is a little closer to in actuality what that coming out party could be. It just seems like Brand of Sacrifice are like the hype is still too quiet.
No, maybe coming out party's not the right word then, but I do think that album garnered like 5 times the attention that band had prior.
This band feels like they have a cult-like following, but it's only a matter of time till they have like that legitimately big breakout success.
It's growing. I think that obviously partnering with We Came as Romans for the Dark something or another song featuring that band.
You were so close. I think is it Dark Matter?
I was going to say Dark Blood, and I'm like, that's not it, because there's no way.
It's not it. They have Black Hole, and then I believe Dark Matter is the song you're thinking of.
No, it's not, but...
it is Dark Matter. It's 100%. It's fucking Dark Matter. It's 100% Dark Matter.
But they did like that whole...
Dark Bloom!
Dark Bloom. And then part of me was like, Dark Life, Lifeblood, Dark Bloom. Like, all of it was sort of like...
Hey,
confusing.
This ain't on us, all right? There's fucking 22 words that metalcore bands like, and they just fucking flip-flop them, and it's like, it's come up with something unique. I want Fall Out Boy titles for my metalcore bands moving forward.
Anyway, that, I think,
Dark Bloom, Jenny's song.
Absolutely a step in the right direction.
Right.
And I don't know, this I guess feels like it could be a coming out party. How overall did you feel about Between Death and Dreams?
I just feel like for me now, Brand of Sacrifice feels better positioned to have what we've coined the coming out party.
So you're saying this is repositioning.
Lifeblood is like setting up the tee before we like smash it. You know what I mean?
And this is then smashing it, or?
Oh, well, yeah. For me, this is a fucking smash.
Good.
This is a smash.
I just knew, like, we were like not getting to that fast enough for me, and I was starting to get worried about
Yeah, we meandered a little bit up top there. Truth be told, I think the singles alone on this are a fucking smash, and in reality, the rest of this EP is just sort of fleshed out with some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Fun, but also potentially the closer on this, the title track, could be one of the most fascinating and potentially biggest breakthrough hits to touch deathcore that we've had in a minute.
Why?
Because, okay, so let's skip right to the last song. Let's fucking skip right to the last song on this album. Let's fucking jump ahead here.
Well, what you were doing was asking me to like switch to a different topic, and I'm like, you just said something kind of crazy. So what do you mean by that?
Because what that song does is it essentially reinterprets and presents Linkin Park as being deathcore influenced. And I think that brushes so closely to what's been working for just about every other heavy band, but Brand of Sacrifice manages to keep it interesting in a lot of ways that other bands managed to make it blander. Like for me, there's like a brilliant vision here, literally like within the vocal delivery. And what's crazy is that like this has become wholly ununique within like the heavier music scene, where just about every other band has pivoted to their Linkin Park alike. Mm-hmm. in this instance, for me, this truly is a version of it that I like, a take on it that I don't think anyone else has been able to do.
That just straight up works, right?
Right, like it almost works in spite of itself. Like this should be this bit, like this should be the moment where I go, fuck. Like they were fun while they lasted. You know what I mean? Brand of Sacrifice fucking fumbled it, but instead they've come up with like one of the most like creative like tracks I've heard all year from specifically from like the heavy music scene.
Totally. I think that what you just said last certainly applies to just Between Death and Dreams, not only as a song, but as an EP in its entirety here. I think
Exodus and Dynasty are like better versions of what we've already gotten of this band, and as good versions of what we've seen in other bands throughout the scene doing similar styles of deathcore, right?
Yeah.
And then Blinded's like there.
No, I disagree.
Oh, you're coming at this from a different direction.
Like
okay.
Blinded. And honestly, I don't know if it's just because like I think the last 30 seconds really work for me. It's this kind of combination of like slow burn breakdown build up thingy that I think works really well. And obviously it leads right into Exodus. So I don't know how much of that is just like me hyping myself up before one of their most hyped songs.
You touch on an interesting point. The Blinded for me, I think, is not quite as good as the two tracks that come immediately after.
It's a wonderful
but hold on, but let me
appetizer.
touch on what you just said. It's necessary because I feel like it specifically sets up Exodus. It's what's fun about Brand of Sacrifice is they are an anime manga inspired band, specifically Berserk, right? Yeah. But if you're not specifically aware of this, Brand of Sacrifice just feels like the greatest self-hype machine in history because all they do is sort of create these myths that seem like they're about the band and then like cement that. Like Blinded feels like this band's going, oh, they're talking about like, hey, fucking, you're gonna get burned. You fuck with the sun, you're gonna get fucking burned,
get marked.
And then you get to like Exodus, and it's like, you've been fucking burned, yo.
You've been burned. We told you where the line was, you crossed it.
Right, like you fuck with us, you're gonna get fucked, right? Like this is all like Brand of Sacrifice just come, like they're fucking hard, right? They don't fuck around. Like they're hard, and they build this myth around them that's really fucking fun. They like present themselves as this like force of immense power, and then they fucking lean into it in a way that's really fun, right? I have a really good time with Brand of Sacrifice, so it's like I could take or leave Blinded in a singular capacity, like outside of this EP, but I like it in the context of this EP and like the story that Brand of Sacrifice is weaving, which I guess in theory is a story that's already been weaved, but they're like representing it in a different way.
Yeah. You said earlier in the show how like Anashkari is like a source of energy for the soul or whatever. This is a source of power. I walk away from Brand of Sacrifice and I feel like I can go fight God if I had to.
Okay, right. So like going back to Anashkari, we're talking a little bit about how that band was also good at like sort of manipulating your emotions. Yeah. Brand of Sacrifice knows how to fucking supercharge you, right? They know how to get you fucking ready.
And I guess like all that to say is just like, oh, they're a good lifting band, but like there's so much more than that.
That's right. They're a good moshing band.
They're a good moshing band, yes. Yeah, I don't know. I think that, again, every song on here is necessary. Blinded sort of establishes a good tone, and it's a soft handoff right into those singles that go absolutely berserk. And
calm down.
Between Death and Dreams is an excellent closer, and perhaps even this band at their finest. And I'm really happy with this overall.
I still don't think it's this band at their finest, right?
So far.
I think Brand of far.
No.
Okay, I think they inch closer and closer to sort of hitting this like Brand of Sacrifice for me feels like they're still building up into this like moment where everything just fucking clicks into place. You know what I mean? And they really
I'm right there with you.
Capture
I'm right there with you. If I ever say a band on their like second EP, not that this is that band, is them at their finest. I'm not predicting the future.
Right. Fair.
This is me saying,
yes, this is their best release to date. I agree.
This is, hey, Brand of Sacrifice fuck extremely hard. Do I expect them to keep fucking real hard on the album that precedes?
One can only hope.
Succeeds this one? Yeah, they're gonna fuck Sam.
I think I give this a 3.5. It's really enjoyable. I think the closer does something uniquely unlike any other heavy band right now. And the rest of the EP continues to cement Brand of Sacrifice as one of the best up-and-coming bands in the deathcore scene.
I'm going to also go with a 3.5, but I also do see like a light 4 in this one. Like I could see that.
Soft 4, hard 3.5.
Yeah. I could see that. Go check it out. Between Death and Dreams by Brand of Sacrifice. It'll be out the week that you hear this review.